Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
assholeconsulting.com. How you guys doing? Coffee is hitting the bloodstream. The old captain is waking up. And it's time to go make the monies and contribute to the GDPs. The JDPs. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, Aaron. I'm a 36-year-old white male, half Italian, half Brazilian, single, 5'11", former engineer, and now retired businessman, semi-nomad, and living in Milan, Italy this year. That sounds like you played your cards really fucking right. I've always been a workaholic nerd with a little social life, but after retiring at the age of 34, I started investing more on myself, going to the gym, taking music classes, and resuming my travels. I've been fossil hunting in Morocco. Yeah, they got those, not trilobites. They have trilobites too. They got, what are the shrimp called? They got some really cool fossils out there. Visiting Chernobyl's ruins in Ukraine, hiking in Peru, using public transportation in San Francisco, and other kinds of adventure. I also love discussing philosophy, science, and how psychology inspired by Maps of Meaning lectures on YouTube. Maps of Meaning. Hang on, I'm going to write that down. Maps of Meaning. Tune into that one. Maybe I could sponsor them. And then inevitably they'll say, oh yeah, we want to run ads on our thing. You never hear back from me again. Now being 36, I'm amazed that I'm getting attention from 18 to 25-year-old girls flirting with me and sometimes even asking me out. When a 19-year-old blue-eyed blonde gal smiles and grabs your arms at a party, and similar stuff happens later with another girl on the market. Another on the street the next week, you actually start to think too much of yourself. I've never had this much attention in my life, and I attribute this partly to my new self-care routines, gym and sleeping, and the main factor must be the new level of confidence after having achieved my professional goals. I'm not discounting those at all, but there are some times you'll go through spates, sometimes a year long, where you are just on fire. Like, you cannot fail. I think what ends up happening, this is just speculation. I guess we'll never know. But you get that one girl and you're like on cloud nine, yeah, I did it. And you're like, hey, how you doing? And the girl's like, wow, this guy's really happy. And then you get the other girl like, dude, I'm fucking awesome. And it just keeps going and going because you're in such a good mood. Because there's been times, like, I could not fail. I was just... there was 2 weekends where I had 4 dates with different girls, and it becomes a scheduling nightmare. You think it's good, and I know a friend who's in a similar situation now. But yes, man, when it rains, it pours, and you just take it and be happy. But there is some also underlying more concrete variables, of which you highlight them there: self-care, gym, sleeping, confidence certainly does help. But yeah, man, just being a happy guy and living life and enjoying it, and being on cloud nine without girls, that definitely is better than the opposite, which is your virgin tallow, self-loathing, mopey emo stays in the bed. Oh, girls suck me. So whatever the magic formula, whatever cocktail you got going on, keep drinking it, man. I still walk around in jeans, t-shirt, and my backpack. Most of the time, I'm a cheapskate. I sent you a photo showing how I present myself every day. You didn't, but then you did. And yeah, you know what? You're happy. You're like, hey, how you doing? You got your fucking Guinness there. You're just enjoying life, and you're living life. The problem is that I also get attention from single women around my age. Oh no, you get more attention? They're usually more forward, clumsily putting their arms over my shoulder, pressing like on old photos of my Facebook page, and bugging with text messages like, what are you doing? Hey, which movie on Netflix do you like? I'm going to a party, after sending a picture of her in booty shorts. My question is, how do I turn down these advances without committing social suicide or hurting people's feelings? I had a bad experience with a group of females when the downed ones started a smear campaign to turn all her girlfriends against me. That time, her group isolated me and ignored me for a whole week until one of the girls broke off and started talking to me again. All right, well, it solved itself. If they're going to be Debbie Downer, can you give me some advice on how I can manage unwanted attention in the most smooth and diplomatic way? Oh, all these cougars and MILFs are self-proclaimed. sending you unwanted attention, and you're not going to sell for anything a day over 25. I say, all right, we need logistics here. I say, hey, I won't mention your name. Well, when and where is all this happening? Has it just been happening in Milan, or has this been going on elsewhere? Also, how long has this been going on? A couple months, a week, a year? The guy can be on fire for no other reason than feeling good, and it will go away. Finally, how mobile are you? Are you staying put in Milan, and that's where you're worried about alienating these girls? If you're nomadic, I don't know how much you have to worry about shitting where you eat. And then he continues on. It's been happening for 3 years since I was 33. All right, so this is more permanent. This isn't just like you're just on fire. This is more structural. And kicked into high gear since I started to work out. For me, it's no secret. It's because I'm investing in myself as well as my lifestyle and may communicate some sort of Indiana Jones status. I get quality women, young women from girls in Europe, except Germany, South America, Australia, and Eastern Europe. Weird way you don't... Why not Germany? I know they're, German. Boom, 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 boom. If anyone could tell me what movie that's from... Monsieur Rick, Germans, boom, 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 boom. TJ Martinell's going to get that one. I know he will. But I did not get any love in California nor Shanghai. The environment really does play a role. Okay. I tend to stay in one place up to 6 months if I like it. And I start building social circles of friends and sometimes love interests in those places. I believe humans can't be real lone wolf nomadic types forever bouncing one place to another without making connections. For me, it's important to develop social circles in the few places I like the most. It is good when you revisit the country and stay in the family house you made friends with, pet their dogs, and play football with kids. Oh yeah, dude, it's great. Unless the kids are shit. I had a couple of places like that where the kids were all right at first, and then as the kids got older, they're intolerable, and you're like, yeah, I can't. It's not even that you're being treated poorly. It's like you're watching them disrespect their old man. You're like, I can't see this happening. I can't do it. I'll get a hotel. Or hit the Hottie X Tinder date 1 year later when you were back in her city. The problem with rejecting some women is that when you say no to one, she gets angry and tries to make the entire group reject you by proxy, undermining your socialization efforts in that group in place. I had this happen to me, and it was a loss, exposing the fact that I am lacking the social skills to navigate circumstances. I don't know if you're lacking social skills. Look, these gals shoot our asses down for breakfast. Not even breakfast. It's the wake up and get your Folgers coffee. The best part of waking up is shooting down guys who try to hit on me. Old commercial from the 80s. And I don't know if you can live a life saying no. And I know you're not saying, well, I know I can't live a life without shooting people down. That comes with it. You want to be graceful about it. But let's be clear here. It's not like you, me, or every other guy hasn't gone through life where it's like, no. And then some people have gotten vindictive, but I don't think we exact a toll of revenge like it's seeming, a woman thus scorned. Sometimes they say no, she gets angry, tries to I had this happening in loss, and exposing the fact I'm lacking the social skills to navigate circumstances like that. Well, sometimes you don't. It's a rock and a hard place. That it's a lose-lose situation. I want to know if you have any idea how I can become Mr. Smooth when handling these situations and still come out on top. Should I give some attention? Should I never say no? What are your thoughts on this? Thanks, Leo. Well, the one thing, or two things. If you're not interested in the older women, let's say, like you said before, it's the 18 to 25 you're interested in, but then girls your own age, you're not interested in girls in their mid to upper 30s or older. Their friends will typically conglomerate around that same age. So you would have no social or sexual interest in them. Maybe you have a social one, and that might be what you're worried about. They're alienating. One will go and alienate the rest. But if you're not interested in these women romantically or sexually, what do you care what that group of women thinks? Now, I could see fallout potentially happening. Oh, now, you didn't go out, you crashed with your buddy, Bob, and he's married to Amy, and you rebuked the advances of Amy's BFF, Jessica. And Jessica told Amy, he never loved me. And then Amy goes to Bob, I know I never stay here anymore. oh, you know, he's a cool guy. I'm sorry, no, dude, you can't stay here no more. I can see there being fallout like that, but that's got to be somewhat rarer. The other thing with this older group that's hitting on you, you just told me that inevitably one broke away from the herd, which they will, and then you're back to square one and everything's fine. You don't have to worry about that group of women will say, oh, you know what, just go with this. And I like to say I'm acting like a 13-year-old girl. I am, but it's the same. It doesn't change. It does. I talked to a psychologist one time, and I was at sea, but I was just talking to him, and I was like, yeah, you know, I was just recently 30. I'm like, I can't believe at 31 it's still this, you know. And he was like, dude, it doesn't change. He says, I got women in their 70s, you know, they're widows recently, and they go, and it's the same petty bullshit. I'm like, this is what I get to look forward to the rest of my life. He's, yep, this is what you get to look forward to. So it doesn't change. So anyway, let us admit there is the fact this is not going to go away in its entirety, and no matter how mature. So one, you can look at it like, all right, is this group of women, you know, Amy, the 37-year-old, comes up to you and wants to ask you out or wants you to ask her out. You got to look at Amy and, you know, kind of assess very quickly, or maybe not. Maybe you got some time. Maybe it's happening on the internet. Like, okay, who does Amy know? Is this fallout? Who does she know that knows? Is that going to affect my buddies at the bar, my friends at the club, my lodging options, and my dating options? If she is cocooned within a bunch of old harpy type gals that you don't want to date, and you're kind of like, it doesn't matter. Well, then, you know, be polite. Say, oh, yeah, you know what, I'd like to, but I'm busy. And you don't want to say, you know, you don't want to lie and say, well, okay, you do want to lie, but you want to lie like they do, something that's not provable. You don't want to say, I got a girlfriend back at home, because then she'll spot you on the street, on the market plots or whatever, with Bambi, and then that's going to spread around real quick. So what you want to do is what they do to us. Oh, I'd love to, but I can't, because here's the thing: you are nomadic. So even if you're there for 6 months, you just kind of like try to avoid. You say, oh, I'd like to, kick the can down the road, and then when you split out of town, say, oh yeah, I never had time, terribly sorry, blah blah blah. So I think it's fair, it's poetic justice. That's what they do to you. That's what they did to us back before you were Mr. International man. You can always ignore it and say, oh, I didn't get the text. That's going to be worth at least a couple weeks or a month. I mean, how regular do you see these people regularly? Is someone going to interrogate you in person, say, hey, did you get Amy's text? Like, no, I didn't. Oh, geez, I'm sorry. You can play dumb. I know these are petty and cowardly. This is not engaging interaction, quelching the problem. It's just avoiding it and kicking the can down the road. What do you think their tactics and strategy have been since their teens to their 20s? And I would always be polite, and you would always, you know, oh, another one. Just go back. What are the excuses? You know, I'm not ready right now. I kind of like, you could even be almost honestly truthful. Yeah, you know what, I kind of just got here, and, you know, I'm not really looking to date. I'm here for adventure and relax, and I don't really want to get involved, you know. I'm at a place right now in my life. Shit, man, we got the script. We got the script. Maybe you could ask for acting lessons of women in the past. Hey, how do I say, you know, I'm at a position in my life right now. Do I say, I'm at a position in my life right now? Oh, no, that's too terse. You know, just kind of at a position in my life right now. No, that's too feminine. She's not going to believe it. You're exactly doing how females do it. Yeah, you know what? I'm kind of, I just really wanted to enjoy travels without getting involved with women. You know, I don't want to complicate it. I really just want to enjoy some time on my own. I kind of like, I'm discovering me. I'm trying to find myself. Come on, use your own shit against them. So just kind of keep them on, move, hustle, shake, shimmy. Don't get nailed down. But you don't say anything concrete. Well, I have a girlfriend over in, Puerto Vino. oh no, I'm gay. You know, and all of a sudden you're walking with Susie Q. So that, and then say, why, you know, and then you're walking down. Oh no, she's just a friend, you know, just hanging out. No, that's, you know. Well, I thought you had a romantic interest. I just, you know, I'm just trying to be honest. Be slimy and slithery, just like that. So, you know, don't get nailed down. The other thing, like, let's say you get approached directly, you kick the can, you ignore, you deny, and all of a sudden you find her, oh, hey, yeah, you know, I'm kind of in a place right now, so you give them the exit. Then that should last several months until you get out of town. Then they won't badmouth you to their friends. You go and you jet set around, and then a year later you come to town, and the dynamics will have changed, okay? And here's another thing I think you're about to find out. Everybody changes. Like, the people you're going to be able to hang out with, you always have your core group of friends. Hopefully you have that core family with their dogs and the kids they can see grow up, and like, hey, I won't mention his name, Bob's back in town, Uncle Bob. It's cool when the kids call you Uncle. Uncle Quayle. Hey, how you doing, you little shit? Yeah, I got some American silver dollars for you. Yeah, the real cowboys use those. Oh. So easy. Those kids are so easy, man. They're just so easy. Like, yeah, here's some cool stuff because I haven't forgotten what it's like to be a kid. Anyway, so hopefully you still retain those people, but these gals, they're transitory themselves too. Not physically. They're still going to be in the same town, but they're not going to have the same friends. And then when you get back, that whatever group that they were going to badmouth you to is completely changed. The dynamics have changed, and you still haven't shat in your own yard. The other thing I was going to say is, let's say you have your 3 or 4 places you really like. In that instant, those places, I would really not shit where you eat at all. Because you want to kind of keep those towns your fortress of solitudes. You know, for me, what would it be? It'd be Vegas, the Twin. Well, I don't like the Twin Cities. I just happen to live here. You know, Rapid City, Denver. What else do I really like? Well, there's not much in Utah. Utah's just this open area. There's some places where it's like, you know, old captain's on his best behavior. There's no getting mixed up with bad elements. I don't even talk politics. I enjoy having the social network. So I'm kind of milky toast, still charming and charismatic, but I don't shit where I eat. You know, romantically, politically, religiously. I just kind of, hey, how's things going, and I enjoy life, because you don't want to ruin these great places to live. That lessens your life. But that doesn't mean the town over, especially if you are in Europe. I mean, there's always the town over. I had a client, somewhat similar problem with you. He was very popular because of a unique athletic skill he had. And he was a good-looking dude, real good-looking, ripped. And every girl wanted to. He's like, yeah, but I'm in this tight community with this athletic skill I have. If I date one girl, it's going to happen. And that happened to me as well in ballroom dance. Like, you date one, and you're going to annihilate the one that you didn't go out with, and I didn't care. It didn't seem to be a lack of girls. But this guy was a little bit more secluded. In this town wasn't big, was he was in. And I was like, well, can't you go two towns down? I looked. I'm like, well, there's a bunch of little towns. The geography was the same as Europe. Bunch of little towns down the road, or not little, same size. Maybe you go to town, you know, 2 down. You take the train out of Milan. I know Milan's the larger one, but you go up to Como. Think, you know, how far is Como? I drove through it. I had a buddy who's like, hey, come to Milan, but just didn't have time to make it to Milan. Milan, Italy. I was not a big fan. Ain't that where Vox Day lives too now? Yep, there's Milan. Yeah, Como's right there. How far is Como there? And you can't just eyeball it. Yeah, Como's 20 miles, 25 miles from Milan. And the problem with Italy is you can't eyeball it because the roads go all like this. You really can't go the way the birds fly. And then the roundabouts every 5 feet. No, oh shit, Jesus Christ. Yeah, what was that? That was a good time. I like Stresa. Lugano, I got lost in Lugano. Oh my God, that was hell. Oh, that was hell. That stretch from Lugano, what is it, SS 340? That was a beautiful ride over to Lake Como. That was very nice. I enjoy that. All right, anyway, enough of Aaron's Italian adventures. But what other towns we got here? Vigevano, Melegnano, Paulo, Melzo, Monza, Saronno, Busto, Arcizino, Zio. Hop on the train and see what's going on, and you go shit in the neighbor's yard, and that's where you do your play, assuming you really like Milan, or whatever town it is. So, yeah, if you got some places you really enjoy, and you just want to bivouac there for like 6 months or so, yeah, I wouldn't, unless like the girl of your dreams comes in. And even then, and God almighty, even that's a good line to say, yeah, you know what, I really like you, but I really like it here. I don't like the shit where I eat. And, you're a real great gal, and man, I would love to, but I really like it here, and, we can be friends. I'll show you my titties now. Although you seem to have no problem with these girls. They all want to show you their titties right off the bat. Anyway, so yeah, kind of psyops bullshit that they applied to you in the past, and then also not shitting where you're choosing your 4 or 5 places that you really like, and then just going to satellite towns outside. With shooting down the women, one, realize, well, they're in the older group, so you're not terribly concerned about that, and if they're going to affect your social life tangentially or tertiarily, I think it'll be temporary, because inevitably one girl will peel off, and 2, I don't know how much damage it's going to cause, because you're not interested in the 30-something and up girls. Then, if you're in a town and you know you're going to be there a month, yeah, you can shit all over that town. That's fine. But if you're in one of your core towns that you like a lot and it's kind of a base of operations, yeah, then you just maybe have a policy you don't date. But you should be able to gently let these girls down with the exact same excuses they did. You ignore their texts. Oh, I didn't get it. And look, these girls have no experience in being hung out to dry. They don't know when they're being lied to. They'll actually, oh, geez, I'm sorry. Just like they do. Hey, you want advice? Go talk to the great one. He gets shot down all the time by girls. Oh, yeah, let's hang out sometime. Hey, were you ever going to respond to my dad? Oh, I've been so busy and a friend's in town. Now, he don't believe it, but these girls will. So you kick the can down the road. You ignore their texts. If they get you in person, you just say, hey, yeah, I'm just kind of finding myself right now. And, oh, yeah, I'm not really looking for anything. I'm just hanging out. No, if I'd love to, but yeah. And then a month later, you're on the next train to wherever it is you want to go. And I think, I know it's dishonest, and maybe that leaves a bad taste in your mouth, but that's what they did to you. and that's what works. So, and just say, yeah, I'm really not, but, yeah, it's a tough problem you have there, man. All those 20-something and teenage girls not just grabbing you at parties, and then you gotta turn down women your own age. It's just, that's horrible. That's horrible. Maybe you should go talk to a therapist. Are you all right? Are you okay traveling the world, getting free lodging, and hitting up on various women? Are you all right? Anyway, you guys have problems. I got answers over at assholeconsulting.com. Aaron, I made too much damn money. What should I do with it? Oh, horrors. You can go to assholeconsulting.com. Check out the Older Brother podcast. We're going to get the new website at olderbrother.com. We have the first Older Brother podcast. It's on the same, look the Clary podcast up. It's on the same RSS feed on soundcloud.com. And what else? We got books. The Patreon, patreon.com/Aaron Clary. Help me help other people out by giving me more of your money. How does that work, Aaron? Is it logical? No, I just make money. That's all it is. Basically, I'll be like, I want Jordan Peterson level of fucking wealth. I'd be like, yeah, what did I do? I said some intelligent things, and people pay me $25,000 a month for reasons. All right, I'll check out you guys later. All right, toodles.